down the D-Day, everybody is on point, people are doing what they got to do, keeping the discipline and all that. I would say it's been fantastic over the last 3 years.
Share with us what the success story has been under your tutelage as a General Secretary.
I think the very important one will be the fact that for the first time in the history of this country, we would have been talking about a political party that even though was set up to be a very great party and that won the first 2 elections in our country with such a huge margin. Of course, at the time, having a very popular candidate in the person of Jerry John Rawlings, who is the founder of our party. It showed massive success at the time. We won about 58% in the first election, 92. Our friends on the other side said, hey, it's not true. Then they brought all the changes that needed to be election. We went again, we won part of the people of Ghana. But even those great victories of the 92 and 96 cannot be compared to what it is we just saw. And what we're talking about now is absolutely mind-blowing. Where you are, you trust your opponent to the extent that you have what to 10 majority in parliament. That absolutely, if you had mentioned that to Kwame Nkrumah or to Rawlings, they would have said this is impossible because it's a very polarized society. So to accomplish such a thing, I mean, both at the presidential and at the parliamentary level, I can only say is the highest accomplishment any leader of a political party would want to talk about. Yeah.
And again, the argument that yes, you have the 2/3 majority in parliament, but the very Ghanaians are not too enthused about how they are performing in parliament. Do you agree to that? Higher expectations.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the thing is you must always appreciate. I prefer when there is much more pressure for you to do better than when there is a certain acceptance that, oh, you're okay. That keeps you at the level of mediocrity. So what it means is that a lot more is being expected of them to be able to make sure, they're able to live to the will of the people. But the most important thing is also that I can tell you, if NPP had this 2/3 majority, by this moment I can tell you clearly that they would have set in motion processes to start literally trying to make tweaks that are not in alignment with the will of Ghana, but that will be good for their political survival. But this moment they would have done.
Break it down.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is this: NPP, basically, once they have the numbers, the portions of the constitution that allow for those numbers to be used to be able to, as it were, operationalize and weaponize things, NPP by this moment would have done it. Simple. It's a machinery that believes that the end justifies the means. Okay, and that sadly I would have said is what has led to the crushing humiliation that they've got. Because you see, when you operate with a mindset where anything goes, anything I have to do to my advantage goes, you so see that come back to same manner. So some of the expectations, we need to start moderating expectation. We need to be able to have a genuine conversation that lets people appreciate that, listen, changes will happen, but they're not going to be as rapid as everybody wants. And if it's not going that rapid, it means that the processes of everybody becoming better and better will take a little longer. Some of that conversation need to be open and to say this is the way we can do it if we want to ensure that the vehicle, which is the country, economy-wise, remains what you call stable and grows and expands gradually for all of us to be better. Then there's a process to go. We can't just do things recklessly. We just can't come and employ everybody and the same way. It can't happen. That conversation, I'm saying, is one that we need to do better in terms of even ahead of elections. Because it's better for me to open up to you in terms of telling you the truth so you know what is expected. You know that I respect you. And on the back of that, you are readier for the things that you're coming to meet, as opposed to, for example, MPP just promised the heaven to everybody, and then when they came, they realized that they couldn't do it. That's when it started lying left, right, and center.
That leads me to my next question. I mean, and it brought some sort of controversy lately, where a top-notch executive of the party allegedly said in a video that the president gives some cash, I think 20,000 or so, to constituencies, where the grassroots are raising concerns that they are benefiting. If that is really true, then they ought to also benefit from that cash. Is that true, by the way?
Yeah.
Did you see that video?
Yeah, I did see. First of all, what I would say is that it's a bit, and of course, as far as the party structure is concerned, it's not every single thing that has been dealt with that we necessarily will come out to the public to discuss. First of all, this official who said is absolutely no locus to talk about the finances of the team. Absolutely no locus at all, because he's actually one of my deputies and he's not even in charge of the finances of the administration of the party. So the last person to want to hear about finances from will be somebody who is not in charge of that. And two, clearly the person clearly has no even idea about any of these processes. Otherwise, he would have known that not one dime, okay, it can be shown to have left the presidency to go to any pro, and even the manner in which you cannot provide any of that information. So basically, we've had opportunity to literally deal with that domestically, internally, and basically to you had no basis to be able to make some of these very wild claims that you might make. So there's no basis at all to it. Two, we must also appreciate that we are a party that won a very massive victory. And with the victory that we've won, there are people who made what we call commitment to support the party in different levels. And the processes to literally do things to affect the grassroots have to do with when opportunities get given. And a lot of these different people are expanding their businesses. So for example, maybe Woezor TV now expands, and on the back of that expansion, Woezor TV now has opportunity to employ many more people. That's a direct benefit that goes to our people. Yeah. The same thing that happens in different fields, whether it's going to be the levels of energy sector, depending upon the policy that are coming, the infrastructure that is coming there. So that's how gradually you start creating those opportunities. So as I can only urge a bit more patience, have to be to exercise generally on the part of all of us, and ensure that we don't do things that will derail the vehicle. At the moment, the vehicle is looking very good, very strong, but if we are not careful, too much impatience can create a kind of that at the end of the day, once it starts going bad, all of us get affected.
That's good. We'll talk about the governance structure of your party in government as it stands now, but let's talk about you.
Okay.
Next year, hopefully, the NDC will go back to the polls. You're next leaders, if I'm right.
Sure.
What's your ambition?
I would say that when you've been right in the very heart of ensuring that we deliver the kind of victory that we've delivered, but not that a victory that also is anchored on a major promise, which is a promise of resetting the country. And you see the beginning of the process that we are seeing in terms of